Welcome to Coding Blind Tech. Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to Coding Blind Tech. In this video, we're going to do something a little different. So for me, whenever I watch YouTube videos, what I always wanted was just a little bit more description, a little bit more verbal cues on what was going on. So what I'm going to do in this video is, first of all, I'm going to show you how to install Node Version Manager. Now, this is going to be on a Ubuntu WSL, and we're going to be using NVDA screen reader. Now, the purpose of what I'm trying to do is I'm going to be more descriptive, and then I'm not going to have the screen reader coming through. That's number one. Number two is I'm going to approach this video from the perspective like we're sitting in an office and our task is to download NVM or Node Version Manager, so we have a way to manage our different node versions across different projects. So typically what you do is you'll do it, you'll go and perform the install, and then you'll document after. So I also, in the description, will have a link to my website where I'll have the instruction or tutorial posted for this, and that will also help as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing you want to do is go to Google, and then in Google, I'm going to type in NVM, so Node Version Manager. I'm just typing the NVM, and then we're going to do on GitHub, if I can type that right. All right, so now I'm going to hit H for headings until I get to the actual web results. And then the first link I see is NVM-sh, and then it's /NVM, and then it's on GitHub. So I'm going to hit this link. And I will put this link down in the description below, that way so you can make sure that you're on the right NVM GitHub page. All right, so I'm going to hit H until I get to the installation step. So I'm going to go to the top of my page and then hit H until I get to the installation steps. All right, so installing and updating. All right, so it says install and update. I'm going to hit H one more time. I'm just looking through. Okay, so that's where we need to be. So you're looking for the heading that's installing and updating. And then under this, it gives us some information that we need to run the script. And to do this, we can either download it and run it manually, or we can use the curl command. All right, and we can use wget or wget. We're going to use curl. All right, so from here, I'm going to open up Git Bash. So to do that, I just hit my Windows key and type in Git and then B, no spaces, and then it usually pulls up Git Bash first. All right, so, oh, I accidentally closed it. Let's get back into that. All right, so in here, what we're going to do is, again, in my last video, so I'll link that in the description below as well. And I'll pin it in the comment. But we installed WSL Ubuntu on our Windows 11 machine. And so on Git Bash, what I can do is I can come in here and type WSL space and then YouTube dash test. And now that's the name of my distro. If you forgot the name of your distro, you can check what it is. So we can backspace that out, and we can do WSL --list --verbose. And now the way I typed that was WSL space and then --list space --verbose, and I'm gonna hit enter. All right, and it's gonna give us our name, state, and version. And then you can just read, let me clear this and do WSL -- list. So again, that's a space and then space -- verbose. Alright, and the way I can read this is just, so on a laptop keyboard, you can do caps lock and then up arrow, down arrow. On a big keyboard, I'm going to do the numpad, and so I'm going to use 7 or 9. For this, I'm going to move up by 7 and move down by 9. Alright, so we see that Ubuntu is running. That's my default. And then Ubuntu YouTube is stopped. And then Docker Desktop, I have that running. And that's because I have a WSL integration turned on with that. And then we have YouTube -24, which is stopped. All right. So we are going to grab the YouTube test, which is YouTube -test. So the way I'm going to start this distro up, again, it's WSL space -D as in Delta space, and then I'm going to type the distro. So YouTube -- and for me, I made it all lowercase, no spaces. You can't do spaces, but I did YouTube -- and then test, and I hit enter. Alright, and you should hear on your screen reader, you should hear it announce that it'll start reading some information off the command line, and then you should hear it announce on your, like I can press enter, and I hear YouTube - testing at laptop and just some profile information, and then it lets me know that I'm on a command line. So, and if you hit down arrow, you should hear that good old bash sound. That da-dong. All right, so now that we're inside of our WSL Ubuntu, this is Ubuntu 26.04 as well. So I'm going to, the first thing that we want to do is I'm going to type node space -- version and hit enter. Alright, and I hear in my screen reader that the command cannot be found, and that's because we haven't installed it yet. So now I'm going to Alt-Tab back over to the browser. Alright, so over here, I'm going to grab the curl command, and the way I'm going to do that, so if I down arrow past that install or update heading, and I come to my curl command, if I down arrow one time below it, there's a copy code to clipboard. I'm going to hit enter on that. And it says copied, ! And then to check that, I can do NVDA modifier key plus C as in Charlie. And then I hear that it's copied that I hear that content on my clipboard. Alright, so if I Alt-Tab back over, and I know I'm in the terminal, what I'm going to do is just paste. So you can do Control plus V as in Victor. Alright, and that's going to drop it off. I'm going to read my current line. And the way you're going to do that. Oh, okay. So when you're in a real bash line, it'll let you do Control V. And here, you're going to want to hit your applications key or do Shift F10. And then you just paste. You hit enter on paste. Alright, and then now if I read my current line, so again, that's either caps lock up arrow, or I can use the numpad and hit the number 8. And then I hear that curl command is in there. I'm going to hit enter on this. Alright, so we get a bunch of output. Alright, and it looks like it's done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type node space -- version, hit enter. Okay, we may need to source space. So I'm typing source space, and then I'm going to do tilde. So that's shift grov. The grov key is above your tab key and to the left of your 1. And then I'm going to do slash, so forward slash, and then I'm going to do dot, so a period, bashrc, all one word, and I'm going to hit enter. And then now we're going to do node space dash dash version. And you're still going to get the command cannot be found because, see, this is, again, me trying to do it from the perspective that we're just installing this, you know, on the go. It's been our a request. So this is one of them things where Node isn't actually installed yet. What we installed was NVM, so Node Version Manager. So actually what I need to type is NVM space dash dash version. There we go. Okay, and my version as of the time of this video is 0.40.5. Alright, so now that Node Version Manager is installed, we need to install Node. So let's grab the latest version of LTS. Now again, we're going to hop over to the GitHub documentation for this. And I'm just going to down arrow. I'm actually going to hit H for heading. Alright, I'm going to hit H again until I get to like a how to use. So we get past the curl command. It gives us some information if we have any trouble, so make sure you read that as well. And then we have additional notes. Alright, this just gives us some information if we have any trouble. Alright. Installing in Docker. So I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It's been a while since I've had to install NVM and then in any new version. So I'm going to show you how I normally would figure this out. It's okay to forget sometimes. So I'm just going to go to Google and then I'm going to type in NVM install LTS. And then our AI overview is telling us how to switch to the long-term support. All right, so, okay, super simple. NVM install and then dash dash LTS. All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here and I'm going to type NVM space install space and then dash dash LTS and hit enter. All right, so we're downloading and installing. All right, creates a default alias and then it says now using Node v24.16.0. Okay. All right, so now we can type node dash dash version. And there it is. Okay. Now we have Node installed on our Ubuntu WSL. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. I'm trying to reply to all my comments. And then also on my YouTube channel, on the homepage, you can actually go to the post tab, and in the for the community, you can also post there if you would like as well. Also, I see where YouTube has a new messaging thing, so you can send me messages now on the videos as well. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one where we start to utilize Node and get into more of an actual project. Alright, see you in the next one.